it's wonderful to be here today to open this amazing garden. Yeah. And it's fantastic to be at this garden to see the before and the after. I was here a few months ago and it was just a piece of wasteland, and now to see a fantastic transformation which will be a huge benefit not only to patients who are here but also to the staff as well, to be able to come outside and to use this as a fantastic facility. And for us in North Hampshire, our military connections are enormously important, and we know how important it is to look after people who've served our country.
So we're really very excited about this amazing garden project, and we think it's going to bring all sorts of fantastic benefits to the patients here at Parklands. So when people come into the unit here, they can be in a very dark place. They might be very depressed, they might be highly anxious or have symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. So I think to have access to a really beautiful and tranquil outside space such as this is incredibly therapeutic for them. I think that the space will be used in really so many ways. I think socially it'll be a place where our Ministry of Defence patients will be able to meet with family, loved ones, work colleagues, to sort of reconnect in that social setting, and also give peer support to one another. I think perhaps just having a cup of tea down here together or having some lunch together will be just a really lovely place for them. We also want to use the garden for specific therapeutic activities. So we've got plans to be able to run yoga classes, exercise classes down here. We've got a patient who's already been through the unit who's going to come back and run some of those exercise classes for us. We're also going to be doing gardening, funnily enough, down here, and other nature-based therapies, as well as mindfulness and relaxation classes. So I think it's going to be incredibly well utilised. And I think also there's something just really heartwarming for the patients here about the fact that people have been so incredibly generous and thoughtful to create such a wonderful space for them to enjoy.
Gardens like this tick at least 4 of the 5 ways of well-being, in terms of social connections, in terms of exercise, in terms of mindfulness and spaces to contemplate, and also something about being generous in terms of giving your own time to tend, do something that has a tangible benefit.
We've been so lucky with the people who've sponsored this garden. We approached the military charities first, and we're very fortunate to have the Armed Forces Covenant Fund, RAF Benevolent Fund and the Soldiers Charity give us a lot of money towards the construction of this garden. But the local tradespeople have been phenomenal. Travis Perkins, the builders merchants, have been amazing with the support they've given us, with ridiculous demands from us who really, were struggling to know what we needed, but they were very good. And then we had Primark, a local fashion shop, that the whole staff voted to get behind us. And not only did they give us money, but they came and planted, they ran raffles and all sorts of things. And the good news is that they're going to make us their charity for next year as well. So that continuation is great. Some individuals, such as, Steve Gillespie, who is a veteran from the army, and he was travelling 2 hours up from Dorset every single day and back, and then putting in 4 or 5 hours of hard physical labour. I mean, amazing. But the charity that really helped us drive all this through was the Southern Health Trust charity Brightaway. Not only did they give us a grant, but they supported us in all our bids for other monies, etc., and getting volunteer staff. So, a big thank you to all of the people who were involved in this, and in particular Sparsholt College, who partnered with us and made this a project for 2 years for their students, and Hannah, who won the design competition and has not only just been a designer, but actually out there weeding and planting as well. So, fantastic. And you can't finish without saying thank you to 2 very special people. Help for Heroes, whose garden therapy team actually taught us what the plants were when we planted them, which was very important, and also Max Barnacle. Max is 87, a veteran from the REME and the Army Air Corps, and he made us not one bench for this beautiful garden, but he also made us a second bench when he heard we were making a staff garden as well. So Max, thank you.
So Hannah, it's hard to believe that we're now seeing the formal opening of the garden, remembering it all started from Chelsea Flower Show in 2018, where we were working, the college, Sparsholt College, working with Help for Heroes, with our Force for Good Gardening. And then I was contacted by Sheila Miller, and then we organised the design competition, which of course your group took part in, and then you subsequently won.
I did, yes. So the main challenges were it had to be a safe environment for the patients. So we had to look at the plants and whether they were poisonous or not. We also needed to provide areas where they could be more social or more private areas where they could go with their therapists or visitors. We need to make sure that there was a seasonality to the garden, that it was always something that they wanted to come into the garden for. And also that it was a sensory garden with stimulation for hearing, sounds, smells, visual attraction. So yeah, there was a lot of challenges.
Yes, and you've risen to those challenges amiably, and we now have a fantastic garden.
It is. It's great to know that what we created is actually doing some real good in the hospital.